So I want to start by showing you a quick screen cap of what happened to a website after we used AI to improve its traffic. Here it is. Now, remember, this happened after the March 2024 core Google algorithm update. AI has essentially fundamentally changed how agencies do SEO, including my agency. SEO is faster, it's less expensive, requires fewer resources, and you will get more results, at least for now. The challenge with it, of course, is the competition. All agencies are going more and more toward AI. So the more quickly you can integrate AI with your SEO practices, the better off you'll be. So today's topic is how to build a business plan for your new AI SEO agency. My name is Caleb Alku. I started doing SEO as a freelancer in 2016, and within 3 years, built a 7-figure SEO agency. I also have an MBA from Chicago Booth, one of the top business schools in the country. And I've done a lot of business plans for a lot of different companies. I actually did that before I got into SEO. Recently, we've transitioned my agency into a full-on AI SEO agency. So a business plan, the benefit of creating a business plan is that it will keep you focused and aligned on your goals. Whether those goals be revenue, number of clients, number of team members, and if you need it, funding. What a business plan does is forecast over the next few years exactly how many clients you're going to get, what your client acquisition cost is, what those clients will pay you, what your cost structure looks like, so that you can estimate your profit over the next several years based on your plan, based on what you're going to do. So once you complete it, it essentially gives you a roadmap for how to get to where you want to be in the next 4 to 5 years. Let's start with some of the basics. SEO agencies used to be about producing content and then using external links for that content. The external links, of course, were a quality signal for Google. Google relies on external links to see that you have good quality content. Now, in the past, and in my agency, the first new team members were generally content writers. We needed a lot of content, and we still do. So before AI, we needed a lot of content writers to produce that content. The first thing that we outsourced was usually quick things that aren't super complicated, but very time consuming. Things like citations, links, web development, and things like that. So quality content used to be the most expensive part of SEO. As you probably know, you don't really need content writers anymore. AI will write your content. Instead, what you do need are content editors. Especially keep in mind that March 24 Google update, Google understands that you're probably using AI to write content. Google can't do anything about that. So instead, what Google does is it is looking for uniqueness, a unique perspective. By definition, ChatGPT, other AI cannot provide uniqueness. Editors can add that into AI-generated content. An excellent source of editors are newspaper editors. This is a group of people who are familiar with fact-checking, very, very important with AI-generated content, adding uniqueness, and writing effective titles. A lot of newspaper editors spent years writing headlines that capture your attention. We're looking for a lot of the same thing. Now, generally, AI is going to be able to do all of the analysis that employees of mine used to spend hours and hours doing. That's keyword research, click-through rate analysis, FAQ section writing, content audits, and more of the things associated with SEO. So a business plan is going to break down the goals of your agency. How many clients are you going to land? How quickly are you going to land them? How much are they going to pay you? Your cost structure, your number of employees, your ad costs, if applicable, your tool costs. Your goal of an effective business plan is to have a really good idea, to have a roadmap for how to get from where you are at the beginning to where you want to be within the next 3 to 5 years. In addition, it's going to focus on the most important factors that you need to be able to do in order to hit those goals. For example, I mentioned tool costs. We don't spend a whole lot of money on SEO tools. It's less than a few $100s a month. If your goal is to grow to a mid 6-figure agency, say $500,000 a year within 2 years, a few $100s a month in tool costs, not very important. That's why I always say don't tool hop, don't spend a lot of time on tools, find one that works and move on. So let's talk about client acquisition. This is where are you going to get your clients, okay? And who are your clients going to be? So there are some decisions for you to make here as you start to think about what you want your SEO agency to look like. Are you going to focus on local companies in your area, or are you going to think about local companies in the same niche? So you're going to help plumbers, but all across the United States. Can't really combine those, right? It's difficult to take on multiple companies in the same geography, in the same niche, because there's only 3 winners for any local search. So if you had 5 plumbers all in your hometown, only 3 of them can actually be winning at any given time. So if you want plumbers, then you'll likely be looking all across the United States in a variety of different cities. Or do you not want local companies? Are you looking for larger companies who are trying to rank nationally? Now, Upwork can be a really good start to land your first few clients, but I'll be honest, Upwork does make it difficult to focus on a single local industry. If you just want to do plumbers, Upwork probably isn't going to be a great source full of plumbers all looking for SEO. But for companies trying to rank nationally, Upwork is an excellent place to start. If you're looking for companies, local companies near you, Chamber of Commerce networking events is an excellent source. Basically, join the Chamber of Commerce and go to every single networking event that you can find. Beyond that, paid ads can work really well for a lot of these. Facebook ads, Google ads, YouTube ads. They can be tailored to a specific niche or to national companies. Basically, you'd want to write your ad talking to who you want to be your clients. Another good option would be customized low volume cold email. Okay, again, that'll work really well for any type of client that you're looking for, but don't buy scraped email lists and then send 10,000 cold emails a day. That used to work years ago. It doesn't really work anymore. Plus, a lot of email providers are really putting the stop on that. So customized, low volume, include a Loom video on every email you send out, and actually send that email to someone that you have identified would be an excellent client. Facebook, LinkedIn, cold reach outs on those, very similar to those customized cold emails. Again, don't do hundreds and hundreds. This is just a handful a day. You could also focus on building your agency's brand. By that, I mean being active on social media, having your own website, and hopefully having your target customers find you via being a well-known brand in your space. Beyond all of this, think about your competition, okay? What agencies can you find that are targeting your current target market, okay? You want to be able to find a handful. If you can't find any, then, one of 2 things is true. Either 1, it's a bad target market, or 2, you're the first person to ever think of this target market. Most likely, it's number 1. There are a lot of people who have tried to do a lot of different things in the past. So if you can't find any competition targeting the exact same group of clients that you are, you might want to think about a different group of clients. But let's assume you found a few. Do some investigation. How are they getting clients? Do they have organic traffic from Google? Do they have social media channels? You can look at their Facebook page and see if they're actually running ads on Facebook or not. Search for their brand name or search for what their target audience would be searching for, and that'll help you give you some clarity as to whether they're running Google ads. There are also a variety of third-party tools that will tell you if they're running Google ads to their specific domain. The important point here is success leaves clues. So if you can find your competition who are targeting a very similar group of clients to you, then use that to craft your plan on how you're going to get in front of clients. You will need an offer, of course. So think about your offer. What is your unique selling proposition? You have competition, of course, but why should your future clients hire you and not your competition? I hope that it's not your price, okay? You having a lower price than your competition, that's not the best plan. Now, AI does give you a lot of advantages beyond just lower resources. At the same or even a higher price, you can deliver much stronger results. At the same or a lower price point than a lot of your competition, you're going to be able to deliver much stronger results by using AI in your SEO. That being said, low price, it generally will attract the wrong type of clients for you. Okay, so you have some idea of client acquisition. You've spied on what your competition is doing. You've started to piece this together. The next big question is, what services or products are you going to offer? Even within SEO, there's a wide range of different services and products beyond just rank you higher. There's website structure, content production, keyword analysis, content optimization, and external link sourcing, citations, Google Business Profile optimization, and more and more and more. So think about who your target audience is, who your target clients are, and what do they need the most? They probably want more traffic, more revenue, more customers, more sales, but generally the same target audience has very similar needs. Okay, so obviously if they're targeting national ranking, Google Business Profile optimization and citations, those are definitely things that you can leave aside. Now, if they're a local business, keyword research can be incredibly valuable. A lot of local businesses, including ones who've hired SEOs, never actually did any local keyword research. Okay, not only that, it's incredibly fast and easy with ChatGPT. I have one video here that I'll link to that gives you a prompt that you can use with ChatGPT for local keyword research. It gives massive results and a really good direction for the content that you should be writing for their website. When we generate pricing for a potential client, we use what I call scope-based pricing. What I mean by that is we promise to do a fixed scope of work each month for a price. I found that this improves client longevity and trust because we're essentially transparent. We're saying, we're going to write this many pieces of content, we're going to optimize this many pieces of content, we're going to source this many links, and we're going to do it every single month for you. In the first month, we're not going to write content, but we're going to do keyword research, we're going to do site structure, etc., etc., etc. Very transparent, exactly what we're going to do and what they're going to get when they pay us every single month. The other option, and I have seen a lot of SEO agencies do this, I call it black box pricing. You've basically just charged a fixed amount each month to rank them, and they really have no idea what you're doing. You've made SEO into a black box. Okay, so let's talk about your marketing and sales strategy. Your marketing should talk about the benefits of AI in SEO. So that's one potential unique selling proposition that you could leverage over some of your competition who's maybe not quite doing that yet. Especially because your target audience, your clients, they've probably heard of AI. So talk to that audience, talk to your future clients directly in your marketing. Tell them what sets you apart from a more traditional SEO agency. Of course, if you have clients already, even just a couple and strong case studies, those make excellent marketing materials to be able to show off what you've done with AI, just like I did at the top of this video. If you are planning to run ads, then the focus should be on the power of the AI methods that you use with SEO. And as part of your funnel with ads, you'll probably want a lead magnet. For example, a good lead magnet for a local business could be to generate and deliver local keyword research to them. This sounds like it would be a lot. Historically, like 3-4 years ago, local keyword research could have taken hours and would not have been a very effective lead magnet because it was just too time-consuming, too expensive to produce. But with that ChatGPT prompt I mentioned earlier for local keyword research, you can do it in 5 minutes. And being able to very quickly give them a local keyword research result for free is a really good way to demonstrate how powerful AI is with SEO. On top of that, you can give them a quick analysis of their existing content using methods from another video I recorded about using AI to rank existing content. This also takes 5-10 minutes to do. Very quick, you generate a CSV, give that to ChatGPT, and basically ask ChatGPT to do a content gap analysis. That gives some great ideas for what content they should be writing next. These are fast, easy, and powerful lead magnets that you can provide to clients, to future clients, to convince them that you know how to do SEO and you're going to be able to get quick and strong results. The goal, of course, of your lead magnet is to be able to demonstrate how quickly your AI SEO agency can produce results for your new clients. If they already have an SEO agency, a more traditional one, then they are definitely going to be surprised with how quickly you can give them such customized and insightful analysis. So let's talk about your operational plan. What are you going to do every day in your SEO agency? What team members do you need? And what will your team members do every single day? And generally, I break team members into two categories: team members who are freelancers and team members who are employees. In my experience, I use freelancers best for these simple time-consuming tasks where you don't really know or care how it's done, as long as the results are good, as long as it's done well. I believe the IRS agrees with that definition of freelancers. But if you're taking someone into your team and training them and showing them the methods, then generally that person I would consider a full-time employee. Again, the big difference there is whether the result is important or whether the result and the method is important. Your first employees, as I mentioned, will most likely, you'll bring them on board to interact with AI, to edit the AI content, to do AI-based analysis. Most of the SEO agencies I've worked with that I've seen, they often started as a single person, a freelancer, who was doing everything themselves and then gradually outsourced and brought on more team members. So let's talk about the financial plan. The first decision is, how many team members are you going to start with? Is it just one? Is it going to be more than one? And that team member, I'm assuming it's going to be an editor. Do you need more than one editor? How much are you going to pay your team member? You can get a good idea of how much that role would get paid. You can check out Upwork, Indeed. You'll get an idea of hourly rates or a full-time employee salary for that type of role. Also, take some time to locate freelancers for the services that you plan to freelance out. Upwork is an excellent source for this. Another excellent source is icecreamtruck.shop. I'll give a link to that in the description. That's where we go for all of our links, citations, press releases, and all of those easy things like that. Upwork is a great resource for website development. Please don't go into Upwork to find people to get links for you. I have yet to find a quality link provider on Upwork. Give me a comment below if you know of one. I'd love to be able to change that, but I haven't done it yet. Okay, on top of this, you need to think about what are you going to do for each client. In other words, what is the scope of work that your typical client will have? For example, if it's a local business, low to medium competition, meaning they live in a metropolitan area of a couple 100,000 people or fewer, then we do 3 to 5 articles each month plus links. Each one of those articles takes my editor around 45 minutes to write it with ChatGPT, edit it, generate images, and fact check it. That editor gets paid $50 an hour. My WordPress developer takes around 15 minutes to post a single article. He gets paid $15 an hour. Then I'm going to outsource a link to each article. That's about $100 or so, $110 for each link, depending on the quality I'm going for, depending on the link, the type of link, and the link velocity. That altogether adds up to right around $151.25 per article. 4 of them a month is $605. Now, it's very difficult to price at less than a 50% gross margin. You often should be pricing even higher than that, but at a 50% gross margin, that scope of work of 4 articles each month, that would be $1,210 to the client. Now, often there are a lot of ancillary requests or issues that come up as an AI SEO agency. The client is going to have questions. You're going to identify an issue with the website that needs to be fixed, additional development time. So I would recommend, if $1,210 is your 50% gross margin, that's where you'd be at $1,500 per month at minimum. So that type of math is how we figure out, okay, what is our standard offer going to be? What is our price point going to be? Doing that ahead of time is very important for your business plan. It also makes it much easier to have conversations with potential clients. You're not creating a custom offer for every single client. You're giving every single client a very similar offer. You change it very slightly so it feels customized, but it doesn't actually need to be. Now, another big question, a part of this financial plan, if you had no clients at all, how long could your agency run and keep paying yourself and your employees? That answer is called your runway. Your goal at the beginning is to have at least 6 months, okay? So if you have a handful of employees, say you have 3 employees, you're paying them $60,000 a year, and you're paying yourself $60,000 a year. $60,000 a year is $5,000 a month. So that's 4 people at $5,000 a month. That's $20,000 a month. So if you had $100,000 in the bank, you would have a 5-month runway. Other main costs, paid ads. Are you going to run paid ads? What's your budget? Okay. It's generally hard to run paid ads at under $20 or $30 a day. Doesn't seem like much, but it adds up to about $3,000 a month. Some quick metrics, in my experience, maybe a 20% opt-in rate, a 5% of the opt-ins you can get on a call, and 25% of those calls you can close as a new client. That is not necessarily at the very beginning, but it's also not dialed in numbers. Those metrics can improve as you get better at writing ads that talk to your audience, you get better on the phone, you get better at converting opt-ins to calls. Maybe you decide that what you want to do is hire an agency to do all of this for you. Again, no problem, just make sure you have the funds for that. A really good way to see what these metrics are going to look like for you is to just run a quick ad for a couple of days to see what your opt-in rate is. And that opt-in rate is going to give you a really good starting point for estimating client acquisition costs with paid ads. Okay, another important question. How long are you going to keep each new client? Client signs on, they probably aren't going to be with you forever. I've had some clients for 6, 7, 8 years, but I have had also clients that leave after 3 or 4 months. For an AI SEO agency with no background, 6 to 9 months is a solid estimate for how long a new client will stay around. You have to build a churn rate into your projections, otherwise your projections are going to be wildly optimistic. Also think about client managers. In my experience, a single full-time client manager can handle 20 to 30 clients. More if they're local companies, and fewer than 20 if they're large national companies with very complicated, very expensive monthly engagements. So what are you going to pay your client managers? And how does that affect your margin? Remember, we talked about the gross margin. That didn't include anything for a client manager or general overhead costs. So make sure that your pricing makes sense given what your team makeup is going to look like. Okay. So let's talk about the execution roadmap. This is a critical part of your business plan. What do you need to have done by when in order to make this business plan into an actual AI SEO agency? Your business plan will need to have milestones. Milestones are clear, simple, actionable steps. Each one of these steps is going to need a timeline, a deadline, and a single person accountable for getting that done. In my experience, if 2 people are accountable for something, then no one is accountable for it. This execution roadmap is also going to give you the ability to evaluate key risks to the business plan. What could go wrong? What could derail this? And what contingencies could you put in place to prevent those worst case scenarios? Now, I haven't mentioned this yet. Hopefully a lot of you have done this already, but ChatGPT AI can actually answer most of these questions and provide guidance, including helping you develop your own financial projections. Now, of course, you should be using AI to generate your AI SEO agency business plan. So just to help you get started there, I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple of prompts, and I'll show you screenshots of what ChatGPT said when I had these prompts for it. Now, I've said this before in other videos, but before you give ChatGPT a prompt, have it roleplay. Tell ChatGPT to pretend to be someone who's an expert at doing business plans, who spent a decade working at McKinsey, who has an MBA from Harvard, and they've done hundreds of business plans. That gives you much better answers from ChatGPT. So here's a first generic prompt that you could use. What do I need to know to start writing a business plan for an SEO agency? And here's the output it generates. And what you can do is ask it questions about each one of these subsections and use that information to start putting your plan together. Another great question for it, I mentioned that if for your financial projections, you need to have salary estimates in for your team members. Here's one. What's a reasonable pay range for a client manager at an SEO agency? The agency is located in New Orleans, Louisiana, has 10 employees, and serves local businesses. In addition to client management, this role will also include some aspects of business development and strategic plan. clearly adjust that prompt for your agency, what you have in mind. But by giving it a location, a size of the agency, and who your clients are, ChatGPT is going to give a much better answer. And its range is actually pretty small. It's a pretty tight range, $45,000 to $70,000. Here's that screenshot of its answer. Okay, another good question. What are some key risks to include in an SEO agency business plan? Please include a short description of each one and give options for risk mitigation. Again, here's ChatGPT's answer to there. The risks are as far-ranging as a Google algorithm update all the way to reputational risks. So if you're stuck on any part of putting this business plan together, ask ChatGPT for help, okay? And once you've put the plan together, once you have a first draft, you can actually give it to ChatGPT and ask it to analyze that plan for mistakes, for oversights to improve on it. ChatGPT is a powerful tool. It's of course as good to help you develop your AI SEO agency business plan as I've talked about it being for SEO itself. So go ahead, go log into ChatGPT. I'm assuming you have a login, and ask it a few questions to get started. I gave you the prompts already. Okay, so what possible reason do you have to not go log in right now and start building this business plan? Right now is the best time for you to do it. If you do have a reason that's stopping you from doing it right now, give me a comment below with that reason, and then I'm going to reply with why that's probably just an excuse. I've helped hundreds of beginners, people who didn't know what SEO stood for, start their own SEO agencies, and then later convert to AI SEO agencies. I have a lot of content coming about AI SEO, including my next video, which is focused on the 12 best services to offer as an AI SEO agency. If that sounds interesting, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching this. If you thought this was valuable, please give me a like or give me a comment below. Tell me what you liked about it. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.